Hey, what's up, guys? It's Mr. Creatine, and so I said in the last video and in the short I posted earlier that I had a really big story for you guys, and that's what this video is going to be about. So, first off, I'm going to hit you guys with a very big disclaimer. This video does cover some serious topics, I won't lie, so I just want to let you guys know that before we start. And okay, so to give a little background information, this was just last Saturday. I was just chilling in my room, sitting there in my Code cosplay, and no, it wasn't actual cosplay. I just have a hat that is like his. And while I was chilling in my room, doing what I do, I was smoking a joint, and not just any joint. It was the Pink Kush, and this was probably like 5 in the afternoon. I had just gone to like a buffet earlier, which is a completely different story for another day. And so yeah, it was just midday, me smoking in my room, watching my TV, and I started to faintly hear something like going on from outside, like in the trailer park. So I get a little curious. I pause my TV to hear, what was going on, and I wasn't really prepared for what I heard. I started to hear like sirens and loud banging sounds, like police sirens, and I wasn't exactly sure what the banging sounds were, but I at least knew that the sirens were police sirens. And so I'm like, huh, that's weird. I wonder what's going on. And then somehow, by like complete coincidence, my mom proceeds to start calling me because she wasn't home at the time. She was going in, like, preparing a little room at my dad's house for work. And, I'm just sitting there, high as shit, staring at my phone ring, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, this just keeps fucking getting weirder and weirder. Like, what is going on? And then I answered my phone, and my mom immediately hits me with the questions of, what's going on? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? And she didn't even know what was happening. And she basically just told me to, stay inside in case of, like, cops being out there. She knows that I smoke, knows I was probably smoking at the time, and is like, I don't know what else is going on out there. The cops are there. Just stay safe while I try to get home. To which I immediately disregarded the stay inside, and I walked outside of my house. I put the joint out first, obviously, because, I'm not trying to get caught by the cops with, drugs in my possession. I don't know why the hell I just, like, started for a second, but yeah, and immediately when I get outside, I just see cop cars driving by and like a bunch of SWAT vehicles and shit, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is getting like really fast. And thankfully, I wasn't the only one who decided they wanted to be a dumbass today, and I saw like half of my like neighborhood of the trailer park outside of their houses just trying to figure out what was going on. So I proceeded to walk up to my neighbor and ask her what was going on, and she proceeds to tell me that basically, I guess, some guy threatened a teenager with a weapon and then barricaded themselves in their house when the cops showed up, which I'm not fully sure if it was a teenager that was threatened, but somebody was threatened. So, like, it was a legitimate call. And so I'm like, okay, what the fuck? Is anybody hurt? Like, did anybody get shot at? Because after hearing that, honestly, that's what I thought the banging sounds were. And the running answer that she got from just the other people around the neighborhood that nobody was shot, which was good. But that meant that nobody was, like, hurt or anything, to my knowledge at least. So then I proceeded to just go out and sit on my porch for a little bit, which you should not do. If you hear that somebody, like, was threatening people in your area, then I would definitely not just go out and sit out on your porch. And I don't know what my, like, I don't even know what the hell to call it. I don't know what my brain was thinking when I decided to go out and just sit out on the porch. But I like pulled back a little curtain so at least nobody would see me, and I sat out in a chair that was on my porch. And I'm sitting there for like 15 minutes just scrolling TikTok, and I start getting a phone call from my one friend, and we'll just call him Garrett. And Garrett immediately, like my mom, hit me with two questions, except these were less concerned and more of, what's going on and what did you do? And I proceed to immediately say, what the fuck do you mean, what did I do? And he goes, you heard me. And I said, I didn't do anything. And then I just gave him the basic rundown of what was going on. And then he told me that him and his cousin were pulling into the area to get a closer look, and it's completely fine with this. I love Garrett. His cousin is gorgeous. And but they tried to like pull into the trailer park area, and they got turned away by the cops, which was probably for good reason, considering there was like a standoff going on like one row behind like where my street was. And then I just get off the phone with Garrett. I'm like, they're probably not gonna let you back there. It's definitely like police investigation, dangerous back there. And then I just go back inside and I start smoking again. I light up the other pink Kush joint. I put my hat back on. And some of my friends start texting me to see if I'm okay, which, W friends. And I don't really know how everybody heard what was going on that fast. Because keep in mind, this was all like within the span of a couple hours. Like, this was all happening within the same like afternoon. And I'm like halfway through the joint that I'm smoking, and I proceed to go back outside to see if anything changed, and like my entire neighborhood was outside. Like, it was only like not even half before, and now it was like everybody outside. And I'm like, okay, and I'm sitting there out on my porch, standing there, I'm looking at my neighbors, and then I start seeing a giant like rig drive by with this big ass military grade, like, I don't even know what the hell it was, but it was just like a giant military weapon. Not, I don't think it was a weapon, but it was like a giant piece of military equipment. And I don't really know much like about the military or police, anything of that matter really, but when I saw this, I kind of like, I don't know, like the severity of the situation started to hit me then. I walked across the street and started talking to my one other neighbor who for some reason calls me George all the time, but he's like, did you see the snipers run through your yard? And I'm like, what the fuck? No, I did not see any snipers run through my yard. And he's like, yeah, they were running through your yard to get back to the other row where everything was going down. And I'm like, no, I didn't see him at all. Has anything changed? Anybody hurt? Like, and apparently nothing had changed. And I was just sitting out there with him for like 10 minutes, and we hear a loud bang, and we all thought it was a shot and that like he had fired on the police officers, but we came to find out it was just a flashbang, which was even more crazy because they were just pulling out all kinds of like military equipment. Like, they were pulling out every kind of weapon or anything they could to try and draw this dude out of his house to like arrest him and detain him. And it was starting to like get to a point where it was getting dark outside. It was like 7:30, almost 8 o'clock, I think. And I decided that I was completely done for the night. I went back in the house. I finished smoking. I turned off my light, put on my TV. I just wanted to go to bed and not deal with anything. And I didn't even get to go to sleep because like 15 minutes later, my mom got back and called me out to the kitchen to talk to me. Basically told me what happened, and I don't want to get into like how the standoff and stuff ended because that gets really dark, and it's just not a topic that I think should be explored on YouTube or I want to explore on YouTube. But yeah, this was definitely a very like scary thing that was happening, and I should not have been outside at all during this happening. And if anything like this happens around you, never go outside. It's not the proper course of action to do in this scenario. And if you guys liked the video, just drop a like and subscribe. It would really help out. And I plan to get another video out by like next Tuesday, so like a few days from now. And so just stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.